Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Gaming, and today I finally am getting around to doing my review of Batman Arkham Shadow after completing my playthrough. So, let's just step into the boots of the Dark Knight and get right into the review. To start off this Batman Arkham game, you're not really playing as Batman. You got tattoos on, you're kind of a gang member, and you are setting the bat symbol on fire. And of course, Jim comes to arrest you, and you get put in prison.
Due process, goddammit! Due process!
But then let's go back a few days and find out what's going on with Batman and actually dive into playing Batman. Now this is a ton of fun the first time that you actually start playing and look down and you see the shadow of Batman himself staring down. You see him, you see the big ears, and yeah, it just brought me so much excitement to see that. And the reason why Batman is in these sewers and is trying to get to a certain area of Gotham City is because this whole group of bats, they call themselves, that follow the Rat King, decided they were going to try to destroy the city. So now we are trying to get to the bottom of who the Rat King is and get to a meetup with Jim and Harvey Dent to get some info on what to do next.
This Rat King could be anywhere, Jim. How the hell do we find him?
We don't. He does.
That's where we're getting the band back together.
Now, starting off, the game mechanics are already complex. You got the Batman Arkham system of combat put into a VR game. So it's very intuitive. It's showing you how to do it. My only complaint I have to say is that it's a little slow. I've played a lot of VR games, and my experience, I really like it when you punch things and things happen. And this one, it's very much rhythm. You gotta do it when it tells you to. You can't do it on your own. But other than that, it is a ton of fun. It is very satisfying to punch enemies up into the air, to slam them down, to beat the crap out of them. And in this game, for once, you truly feel like Batman. I know everybody said that with all the other Arkham games, but now it's for real. You are the Batman. You punch with your arm and you see the gauntlets and everything. You are Batman. With combat, it's impossible to forget that with the Arkham series, there is a lot of stealth going on, and the stealth in this game is just very engaging and a lot of fun, especially compared to some of the previous Arkham games. It really feels like even if you did decide to have your detective vision on the entire time, it's not the best advantage in the world. In the Arkham games, you're at a third-person perspective, you can see more. In this, people can still sneak up behind you even if you have detective vision on. So it really helps to just listen to the environment, and it really keeps you engaged, as well as it is a ton of fun to fly around the map and just pull people up and just keep stealthily taking people out, choking people out. Throughout this game, the combat doesn't stay stale because eventually there are unique boss fights. The first one is a little bit more of a bunch of goons being thrown at you, but in the meantime, you got Falcone there shooting a machine gun at you and throwing grenades at you, while you got to also complete a little bit of a puzzle thing. The puzzle was pretty straightforward, but anyway, it is still different than any sort of other fight. Then you got like a true definition of a boss fight with Bolton here, grappling around the stage with a shock thing, a shock chain whip, which is just absolutely crazy, and it was a ton of fun to do this boss fight. It kind of reminded me of a combination of fighting Mr. Freeze and fighting Bane from the older games. Lastly, you have one of the best Scarecrow mission boss fight things ever. Because in all the past games, you never really truly fight Scarecrow. In this game, you fight Scarecrow as a giant version of Batman, which is just an absolute nightmare, and a bunch of like little goon nightmare dudes. It's just absolutely insane. I absolutely love this boss fight. And I love to see that Scarecrow is even in this game. I had no clue starting this off that we were going to see Dr. Crane also be Scarecrow. And of course, there is all sorts of collectibles, as well as all sorts of gadgets to get to these collectibles and traverse around the world. Getting back to the story, when you meet up with Jim and Harvey, you first hear the voice of the Rat King.
The courts, the click.
And yeah, you got some intel of where you can go, what you can try to do. So you go looking at the theater for this Shrike guy, which we take out his entire group. We take out little Robin here as well. And yeah, Ratman's not here. Rat King's not here. Nowhere to be found. So now we got to come up with a new plan, and we're not going to let Jim on this plan that we got here, where we have been Batman this entire game. This was so mind-blowing the first time that I seen this, because it was like, wait a minute. That dude with the tattoos that burnt the bat signal, that's Batman? And so now, we purposely sent ourselves to Blackgate Prison, because apparently that's where the Rat King is. So we're going to go undercover and try to find him. Now we're playing as Irvin Malone, who gets the nickname of Matches Malone. Now Matches Malone here is chilling out with all sorts of Batman's rogues gallery, so that's very interesting to just talk to people who's typically Batman's enemy, but they don't see you that way. They see you as this dude that doesn't like Batman because you burnt the bat signal. And this guy here, Yamashiro, must not like that you burnt the bat signal, because he seems to be your friend, he seems right, and then he sets you up and stabs you. Like, what the hell, Yamashiro? Why'd you do that? And in the meantime, you are going around the prison, all sorts of places, courtesy of Joe Chill. Yes, the Joe Chill that I'm sure we all know, it's not a crazy spoiler or anything. He killed Batman's parents. But in this story, Batman doesn't know that yet. So it's very interesting to have all sorts of conversations and interactions and helping out Joe Chill when, you know, that's who Bruce is hunting down when he was younger. So yeah, that's interesting. But the reason why we are truly working with Joe to get around the prison is to get more clues of who the Rat King is. We got multiple suspects of who could be the Rat King. First off, we got the Rat Catcher, which, yeah, he's got rat in his name. He attacked Falcone for some reason, and Falcone is dead set on him being the Rat King, which is the whole reason why we took Yamashiro's advice in the first place. But anyway, we go to investigate the crime scene, and fun fact, yeah, he didn't attack Falcone. Bolton attacked Falcone, the warden of this prison. So we're like, is he the Rat King? No, he's just some insane dude that's just kind of very brutal and likes to kill criminals. So then, who is it? And also, in the meantime, why are patients disappearing? Including Yamashiro now. Yamashiro missing. Who knows where he's at? Except from Harley Quinn here, seems to think that it is Dr. Crane. Dr. Crane has been, kidnapping people. Where they're being taken to, I don't know. We gotta find out, because we're Batman, so in the middle of the night, every single night, we sneak out and we try to find more clues, as well as trying to find clues in the day as Matches Malone. So it's a ton of fun to have the inmate interaction during the day, and during the night, the Cape Crusader running around and being the world's greatest detective, finding clues, but not quite solving the mystery. Now we're really getting into heavy spoiler territory, so if you're not wanting to hear any more of that, just skip towards the end if you want to hear my recommendation. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching my video so far, and yeah, please come back to it once you finish the game. And for everybody who stayed, let's continue. Harley Quinn thinks that Dr. Crane here is the Rat King, but he's not. He's not at all the Rat King. He is just Scarecrow stealing people to experiment on. So who's the actual Rat King? We don't know yet. What happens next is that we gotta go to court, and long story short, it's kind of, but not really, Batman's fault that Two-Face got burnt. And that Two-Face is Two-Face. Which throughout the story, by the way, we have been good friends with Harvey. We're going to the backstory with Harvey. Bruce and Harvey are good friends. And we accidentally burned him. Yeah. Anyway, we feel bad about that, and we still are looking for whoever the Rat King is. And we find out that there's a boat with the Rat King on it about to leave as the day of wrath is coming. And so we go on board the boat. We go upstairs and oh hey Harvey, what are you doing here? Are you the Rat King? You are the Rat King. Oh, so it wasn't very obvious, especially in a first playthrough. You gotta have a lot more time and thought, because it's kind of mind-blowing that he could have set up himself getting burnt. Except for him, that's not truly the plan. And also, Harvey was always Two-Face. That's just something you gotta recognize. He always had the second personality, and they start to show that throughout it, of him having these outbursts of rage and anger and forgetting stuff, just like how his dad did in the flashbacks. So there's all sorts of hints to it. Like if we go back, way back to the beginning of the game, where we first meet up with Jim and Harvey, and you hear the voice, and then you hear the voice of Two-Face there, and you're like, oh, it's just a less raspy in-between version of Harvey and the end Two-Face voice. But anyway, since he is the Rat King, he's crazy, and he decides, let's just drive a boat into Gotham City with a bomb attached to it so that we are just a giant missile. They literally say he made the boat into a missile. So we gotta de-arm it, but we weren't in time to stop the boat from crashing into Gotham and into the GCPD, where we then get the phone call from Harvey saying that he found our killer, looking at his most recent case, and guess what? It's Joe Chill, the guy that we were kind of buddies with in prison, and yeah, we already know that, but whatever, just pretend like you don't know what Batman is, and just pretend like you're not a Batman fan watching this and don't know that. Wow, what a crazy twist. But if you're not a twist, not really a crazy spoiler. What is a crazy thing that happens, though, is you show Harvey Dent your face, that you are Batman.
Harvey! Because...
Ultimately, Harvey can't take this, and he decides he's going to jump off the building with you going with him. And somehow, don't know why, it's crazy. Somehow, you both survived this. And he lost his memory, and now he's like fully becoming Two-Face. There's very little of Harvey left, and so it's very sad because it's pretty much the end of Bruce and Harvey's relationship, as now Harvey just needs intense medical care and medical treatment.
What are we?
Now, once I finished the story, I also decided it wasn't that much longer. I was fairly close to achieving 100% in Batman Arkham Shadow, so I decided, let's just go get all the collectibles. It can't be that hard, right? Well, it took me an additional 3.5 hours on top of what I've already done, making my gameplay come to a little bit over 13 hours to 100% this game. It took me quite a while. Some of it was just because some of the riddles to solve stuff was a little bit harder than others. A lot of the number gates were a lot harder. But I do really enjoy 100%ing this game. It was a ton of fun compared to the past games. For the past games, some of the Riddler trophies were very annoying, very hard to do, and just required an insane amount of skill to complete. And this one, you really just had to use your brain or explore the map. And I really enjoyed exploring places you wouldn't have gone otherwise. So it really encouraged you to explore the full map to 100%. So I would 100% recommend, going out and exploring and getting 100%. Because by the time that you finish the game, especially if you wanted to do some of the stuff you saw along the way, you should already be at 75%. Because I was about at 72%. I did let some stuff go that I didn't see at first. But yeah, it really didn't take me that much longer to 100% the game. Now, I did have some issues when it came to 100%ing the game, though. I got motion sickness, which I never get from VR games. There is just so much lag when you're trying to run around going from location to location. So if you are going to 100% this game, I would definitely recommend that once you're just collecting collectibles, do it an hour at a time. Don't try to do it all in 3 hours, 3.5 hours, because you'll be very, very motion sick. I can say that for sure. You can handle it if it's just an hour at a time, though. If you're also looking for more content to do and want to re-experience the story from a new perspective, you can play New Game Plus, which at the end does reward you with an extra cutscene where Bruce Wayne meets Dick Grayson in his apartment. But in my opinion, it's not really worth replaying that many hours of the game just to see one cutscene. I really wish they would have just shown this at 100%. Because at 100%, you get nothing. Just a little pop of achievement, which the quest stuff, it's hard to even see your achievements. It's not that important. So yeah. Now, like I had kind of hinted to, there is a cost of entry for just playing this game. You have to own a Quest 3 or a Quest 3S to play this. It is not available on any sort of other headset, nothing else. You can't play on PlayStation. I've seen all sorts of comments in my videos asking me, unfortunately, no. I wish you could play it on PC because honestly, I feel like some of these lag issues I had that was giving me motion sickness wouldn't be there if I was able to play it on a PC with perfect performance. The cost of playing this game then, if you do not have a Quest 3 headset, is a minimum of $300 for the base 3S headset. It's 128 gigabytes of storage, or $400 if you want double the storage, or $500 if you get the Quest 3. So this is a very expensive game that I really don't recommend getting a headset if you don't have a headset and don't have an interest in getting a VR headset. This game does come included if you purchase a headset before April 30th of this year, 2025. That does bring down the price consideration since this game itself costs $50. So let's say you were going to get the Quest 3, you could think of it as a $450 headset, plus you paid $50 for a game. You could think about it a little bit differently there. If you weren't already going to explore more VR titles like Bone Labs or Assassin's Creed's Nexus, which I've been having a ton of fun playing recently, as well as, Super Hot, Beat Saber, all the other classic VR games, if you're thinking about playing those, I would recommend getting it before the date. That way you can just take advantage of that extra $50 game that's just added onto it. Otherwise, you got to think of, you're going to spend an extra $50 to get this game on top of buying a headset. But if you do already have the headset, you bought it before the deal happened, I would recommend paying the $50 to play this game. This is definitely a $50 game. I mean, there's so much content to it. There's New Game Plus, and it's probably one of the most replayable of all of the Arkham series games. Finally, Batman Arkham Shadow is a must-play for anybody that wants to play VR games and is a huge Batman fan. Now, you gotta have both, because if you don't really want to play VR games, I don't see it as a must-play. You might as well just look up the story, listen to or watch somebody play it, or just listen to somebody go into more detail than I did today on what the story is. This is definitely one of the best high-quality VR games I have ever played. I just really wish that they would have honed in on the performance issues with some of the loading, and I also just really wish they would have given you more for 100% completing the game. Like, that was a little disappointing. I really don't think that they should have put it into the new Plus territory. If feel like they should have gotten an extra cutscene if they were going to do anything. But that's just my opinion on that. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe or leave a comment below of what you think of this game. If you've already seen my content, you already have a good idea of what this game plays like, what it looks like, what the story is. If you haven't seen my gameplay yet, go see my gameplay. It's the whole reason why I'm doing a review and doing gameplay. That way you can go back and you can see 100% playthrough and really decide for yourself, since this is a big purchase, if this is what you want to do. So I'll see you all in the comments below, and until next time, see ya.